You all know that you can be with someone and yet still feel completely alone. You probably felt that way throughout your childhood, where you were surrounded by your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, and you still felt alone. You were in a circle, a friendship group, and you still felt alone. You see, in today's episode, we're going to be understanding this, because even I had the idea that once I got into a relationship, this would go away, but it doesn't. You feel the same way you felt your whole life. If anything, it's 10 times worse, because now you can't blame your reality for it. You have to look deeper. You have to understand yourself. So in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you what I did to understand this, and what I feel like will help many of you guys out there. But before we begin, you already know what we're going to do. So let's take a deep breath in right now. And a deep breath out. So why is it that we are sold this idea that if we were in a relationship, we will no longer feel alone? Why do we have every human being feeling and believing this? And why is it that even if you were in a relationship, you will feel the same way? You see, many of the people that I know are struggling with loneliness, are surrounded by family and friends, and yet they still feel a deep sense of loneliness. It's almost like a worldwide disease. But understand that the deeper and deeper you get to why you feel this way, you start realizing when you can no longer blame your external reality and the people around you. You can only take a look at yourself. You get to a stage where you start realizing it's a part of you that you have left behind. Now, before I explain what I mean by that, I want to recommend this book. You know, if anyone's really watching this and you're struggling, I totally recommend. I've probably made about 10 people already buy this book. And I've only got it a month ago. And I'm telling you guys, like, if you really want to change your life, it's like this book will help you understand what I'm about to share with you in this video. So there's a part of us that has been left behind. What do I mean by that? You see, whenever we go through any moment of some sort of trauma or shame or guilt, a moment where we felt an extreme high amount of tension, emotional tension, stress, anxiety, whatever it may be, in those moments, the way we coped with that reality, most of us were taught in a way just to simply suppress it and bury it and pretend it never happened. That's how our parents dealt with situations, and that's how simply we deal with situations. And we are taught in today's society by movies and mainstream, media, that the solutions lie outside of us. But why is it that it's never enough to cure our deep sense of depression, anxiety, loneliness? Because we're constantly, as long as we place it outside of us, we remain the perfect consumer. And as long as we are the perfect consumer, we serve the system, right? But the moment you start seeking for answers within you, true freedom starts to take place. True freedom. You see, you have to understand something before we continue, and I'll explain what I mean by a part of you has been left behind. We live in a society today where they literally pay millions for you to be the perfect consumer, because that's how they just keep rinsing you out of money. You are the perfect product. As long as you are the perfect product, you will keep feeding the system, and you're never relying on your soul and your heart to find your own way. Your answers are always outside of you. So let me explain it to you now. In those moments where we experience high amounts of tension, stress, anxiety, we call it a traumatic experience. When you're first hearing this for the first time, you're going to think to yourself, Minhaz, I ain't traumatized. I'm a regular guy, or I'm a regular woman. I don't experience these things. I'm good. I had a good upbringing. You should be concerned a little bit. When you think you know, you don't know. I've had many friends who told me I had a perfect parents. And then when they start doing shadow work, which is basically understanding their own shadow, fancy way of saying understanding your subconscious mind, when they start actually realizing why they are the way they are, why they struggle with certain challenges in life, they realize that it's because of their childhood. And then it starts making them realize, oh my God, I didn't have a perfect childhood. I convinced myself of this reality. So if you're someone who's saying, I'm good, be curious. That's a better way of seeing it. Otherwise, you don't want to get to a stage where you think you know. When you think you know, you don't know. Okay? So when we experience some sort of traumatic experience, right, whatever it may be, whether it's just your mom simply leaving you in the shops when you're touching stuff, she's like, you touch that again, I'm going to leave. And then they leave, but they stand outside the shop just to scare you a little bit so you don't do it again. In that moment, a little kid will, cry his eyes out. For them, it's a moment of life and death. Now, in that moment, the brain simply registers this as a dangerous moment, experience. So it starts creating a habit. So, okay, for that not to ever happen again, for that to not ever happen again, we must not touch anything. 20 years later, you're the person now in the shops, your kid is touching something and you find yourself saying and doing the same thing. How does that happen? This is how traumatic experience lives within the body, and it just keeps going. That's what we call intergenerational trauma, right? Things that just keep passing down through the kids to their kids to their kids. Whereas if you're watching this, you're someone who wants to stop that. You're someone who wants to change that. So understand, buy this book. Buy it today. Order it right now. You can literally get it tomorrow. Okay? So that sense of loneliness, right? Where does it come from? When a part of us, that, for example, that shop moment, right? Where a part of us was left in that shop, crying, bawling his eyes out. Mom comes back, tells him to wipe his eyes. He's not a little baby anymore. Stop crying. And then he's just like, oh, shit, I overacted. But he dismisses his emotions. 20 years later, he's still the same guy who goes into shops and doesn't like to touch anything. You might say because you're disciplined, or you might say it's because you know better, not to touch anything. But there's a deep sense of discomfort knowing if you see someone else just touching everything, you start noticing this discomfort arise within your body that you're not comfortable with them touching anything. If anything, you tell them, don't touch everything, stop touching stuff. And you almost like stop them because it's not safe for you to do so. Because when you do that, it's a matter of life and death. Now you might be thinking, how is it a matter of life and death if I experienced that 20 years ago? It lives within the body because it was a matter of life and death. Now, as we go through life, right, we have our own relationship with love. What love is like, when the way we receive it and the way we give it. So if you're around your childhood, you grew up around troublesome parents who argued a lot, you most likely have a very dysregulated nervous system when it comes to receiving and giving love. You're not sure when you're going to get it, or you're not sure when you can receive, when you are going to receive it, whether you're even worthy of it, right? So there's a lot of doubt that stays within you, buried within your subconscious mind and your body as emotional baggage, and 20 years later you start manifesting that into your current relationships. So no matter where you go, that deep sense of I don't know whether love is something I can rely on, you're constantly on edge with love. Now you might even be struggling. If you're struggling with loneliness, you most likely might be even struggling in your relationship, because that's something that you can't even admit in your relationship, because the partner that you might be with might be actually a perfect compatible partner for your pain. They might be the perfect person to trigger your pain even more. So every time you feel like you even want to emotionally open up to them, they shut you down. Same way your mama did. And this is the crazy thing. This is where the law of attraction comes in. So that deep sense of loneliness doesn't come because your partner's not able to give that to you. It's because you are not able to give that to yourself. Let me explain. So your partner could be the perfect person. They could be well informed with all this information on healing and trauma and all of that. They can be that person to comfort you in a moment where you understand something that has impacted you for your whole life. But whereas when the only person that can save you is yourself, and I've made an episode on this, go and check it out. There's a video, it'll be tagged somewhere up here. Check it out, and this video will help you understand what I mean by that. So when those parts of us were created, our body registered and our subconscious mind registered that moment as life and death. Now in that moment, it gets stored as like a storage, with like a story within the subconscious mind. And that part constantly tries to communicate through you as you go through life. Even 50 years later, you could find yourself tiptoeing around life, avoiding the same experiences again and again. And what does that really do? It protects you, right? And you might be like, Minhaz, that's a good thing. It protects me from things that are going to hurt me. But when it comes to love, you protect yourself from it. You're not becoming that person that can't be seen or receive love or give love. You start struggling. You feel alone. That deep sense of loneliness doesn't go. You could be surrounded, but you could even be married with kids, And your partner could be someone that tries their best to communicate with you, but you just can't receive it. And you see, when you go back to those memories, and how do you do that? That's what I'm telling you about this book. It will help you understand how. And if you haven't listened to my video, you can save yourself, go and check it out. This will help you understand how to do that. And the moment you go back to those memories, and the moment you say, become the person that you needed, which I explained in that video, so go and check it out. The moment you pick yourself back up, you become the person that saves the part of you that has been just living in the past. That part of you is living in the past simply in a memory in your mind. And the moment you free yourself from that trap, that painful event, it frees you. And you no longer feel this sense of loneliness. And you might be thinking, really? My whole life, all I believed that once I find the perfect partner, I will no longer feel alone. But this is coming from someone that's been surrounded by people. And I'm working with a lot of people, and I felt that way a long time in my life. I've noticed men who are in their 50s and 60s that have grandkids who still feel a deep sense of loneliness. Not just men, but women also. So if you really want to heal that, buy this book. Buy this book. I'm telling you, like, you have the tools that you need to be able to revisit a memory that is stuck in the past and free it. And the moment you free it, that is when you heal parts of yourself, and you no longer feel this deep sense of loneliness. If anything, you transcend into a person that is no longer seeking for it just as hard as you might have been in the past. The story changes. You go from someone who's like, oh, I really need to be in a relationship, to someone who's like, nah, I want it. I need it. Yeah, of course I need it, but I don't really care when it comes. It can come now, it can come later, but I would like it to come, but I don't feel this sense of urgency as if it's a solution to my problems. And that's the place you want to get to, because until you do, you can forcefully find that partner only for your loneliness to make more sense, for it to be more painful, for it to hurt even more, because you feel like, what? Even this isn't solving it. I hope this episode helped you, and if it didn't, make sure you listen to it again, because I'm telling you, this is information that I've learned. I know a lot of people come to me with, and it's like, I understand that, I see your pain, I know it's your pain, and if you really want to heal this, it doesn't start with finding a partner, it starts with finding yourself. And I know it sounds a bit cliche, because when you hear this, you're like, oh, here we go, the mumbo jumbo things about loving yourself. How can I do that if I don't have that person? How can I? But you can have that person, and then it hits you in the face. Either way, you will learn. Either way, you will learn the truth. And the truth is, you have to become the person that you needed. That's why I recommend that video. You can save yourself. It'll be tagged up ahead. Go and check that out, and there'll be a link down below. Or one of my latest episodes. Go and check it out. I hope this episode helped you guys. Let's quickly conclude this episode. Don't fall for this idea that you're going to heal your loneliness outside of you. That's a complete consumerism mindset, and only keeps you stuck in a cycle that just keeps it going again and again. You can either learn this way, or you can learn it the hard way by forcefully getting into a relationship and you feel alone. Just simply ask yourself, you probably have people around you and you still feel alone. What makes you think now suddenly a partner, just because they can give you the intimate and all that, the lovey-dovey stuff, that you're suddenly the loneliness is going to disappear? No. If anything, there will be an escape for you. There will be moments of escape for you, and as long as you can't escape with them, you'll feel alone. So you can only save yourself, okay? I hope this helped. If it didn't, drop a comment down below. Give me a question. Let me know if there's something that resonated. Give me a thumbs up. And if you're watching this or listening to this on the podcast channel, leave a review, and please take a screenshot and share it on your story, and be sure to tag me so we can get more people to hear this episode. Other than that, guys, I hope you have a beautiful day. I'll catch you guys soon. Peace and love. Salamualaykum.